characters, incidents, names, and situations used in this story are fictitious. The resemblance to any person living or dead is purely coincidental. The following video contains some horror elements and suitable for a mature audience, 16 plus. This channel and video is not for kids.
Hello friends, I am Aryan and welcome to our channel Midnight Horror Stories, where you get to hear true and scary ghost stories. In our channel, you will get to hear true and scary stories every Tuesday and Saturday. But before starting the story, all the friends who have come to this channel for the first time, please subscribe to the channel, and if you like the story, then definitely introduce yourself in the comment section. Then, let's do not take much time and start our story quickly. The story that has come to us today is that of a man who has felt this thing by going very close to the souls. So let's start the story. So this is the story of Anuj. Anuj was doing part-time along with studies whenever and hence he joined Zomato. During the day he would study and then till 12 in the night he would work as a delivery partner for Zomato. Anuj was fulfilling his responsibility very well, but one day everything changed. One night when Anuj was about to go home, he suddenly received one last order. Anuj thought that if there is a last order, then it should be delivered and leave for home only, and so he took that order. Inside that order was chicken biryani. Anuj took the parcel of chicken biryani and immediately set out to deliver the parcel. It was too late at night, because of which Anuj was also a little scared. There was no one on the street around. It was November at that time, so it was cold too, and Anuj was moving forward, breaking the silence of the cold night. He had arrived at the place where the parcel was delivered. When he looked around, there was no one there. Seeing all this, he was very surprised. At the same time, his mobile rang. When he checked the mobile, he found that it was the phone of the customer who had ordered the parcel. When he picked up the phone, a woman's voice came from the other side. "Come straight from wherever you stand. Going straight, you will see a bungalow on the right side. The main gate of that bungalow is open. You come in and ring the doorbell and leave the parcel there. There's your money under the doormat. Leave the parcel and take the money." Hearing this, Anuj felt a little strange. But now, before he could say anything, the woman from the other side hung up the phone. Seeing this, Anuj thought to himself, "It's a strange woman. Well, let me leave here immediately with my last delivery." Anuj then went straight to the bungalow as the woman had said. The main gate of that bungalow was open. Anuj opened the main gate and came in, and then after ringing the bell, he kept the parcel down there and then took the money from under the doormat and left from there. After delivering the order, Anuj must have gone a little distance from that bungalow when a curiosity arose in his mind as to who it was and why he did not want to come out. He turned around and tried to peek inside the main gate of the bungalow. When he went there, he found that the parcel he had kept in front of the door was no longer there. Perhaps the woman took the parcel inside. Anuj left from there and went to his house. The next night, when he was going home after finishing work, he again got a parcel of this area, and Anuj took this order again. Anuj went to that address again, and he again got a call as before, and he said the same and then hung up the phone. Anuj did the same, and then as soon as he kept the parcel and came out of the gate, he did not leave but was hiding from outside the gate and looking inside. After some time, the door opened and a beautiful 22-year-old girl came out of that house from inside. She looked around and then she took the parcel and went inside. Seeing that girl, Anuj was surprised, because the girl was very beautiful, but still she did not know why she did not want to be seen by anyone. Thinking about all this, Anuj went to his house, and then the next day again he got the order from the same house. Now you must be wondering why all these orders were being given to Anuj and someone else. Why not Anuj? So let me tell you that Anuj was working in that area till late night. Apart from that, all the Zomato partners had gone home by now. Anuj used to work late at night in order to earn more money, and then he was getting all these orders. Anuj took the parcel and then delivered it to the house. This time too, as soon as the girl opened the door to take the parcel, Anuj came forward and said, "Madam, what is the matter? You do not always come to take the parcel, but you cut the phone by asking me to keep it. You can also take the parcel from my hands, but why do you ask me to leave?" Hearing this, the girl got a little nervous and said, "Look, do as I told you, and next time you should not do this at all, or else I will complain to you." Hearing this, Anuj was a little nervous because he had not asked anything so that he would overreact so much. But now, before he could say anything, a woman's voice came from inside. "Who are you talking to?" Hearing this, the girl's face was filled with nervous expressions and she said to Anuj, "Lata, my mom has heard. Please get out of here quickly, otherwise my mom will be very angry." Hearing this, Anuj did not say anything and left from there. But the question in his mind was, what was happening in this house and why do these people order a parcel of chicken biryani every night? With all these questions in his mind, Anuj came home and then waited for the next morning. The next day, when his friend met in college, Anuj told him all this in conversation. Then his friend said that they are very strange people. In fact, they eat daily biryani so late at night and do not show their face to anyone. Hearing this, Anuj said, "I don't know what the matter is, but his mother screams from inside when she talks."
Maybe they suspect that this girl is having an affair with someone. That's why something like this happens. Hearing this, his friend said, "Come on, that's all right. I understand that, but I don't understand the logic of eating biryani every day." Hearing this, Anuj said, "What is there to think about so much? Maybe you eat because you like them. Don't leave yourself. What?" Then his friend said, "Come on, that's okay too. However, let's do one thing. Let's see him. Where does she live?" Then Anuj said, "Hey, have you not gone mad? I don't know how much more ferocious the aunt who lives inside that house." Hearing this, his friend said, "Oh, nothing happens. Come on, you'll have fun." Anuj also wanted to meet that girl. He wanted to know what was going on, so he also agreed, and after finishing college, both of them went to that house. They both came near the house, but now they did not understand what excuse they would go inside the house. Both of them were talking about this when suddenly a woman saw them walking there and she asked Anuj, "Who are you guys?" to meet. Hearing this, Anuj was a little nervous, but then, the next moment, he took care of the matter. That madam actually used to be a girl from my college somewhere around here. Just came to give him notes. She probably lives in this bungalow. Hearing this, when the woman looked at that bungalow, she was surprised and then said, "You must have misunderstood, son, because this bungalow has been vacant for many months. A family living in this house had committed suicide by consuming poison long ago because they had a lot of debt. Maybe your friend made a joke with you." Anuj was completely surprised to hear this. He couldn't believe what this woman was saying, because every night he comes to this bungalow to see a parcel of biryani, so how can it be true? But Anuj didn't want to talk to the woman. That's why he thought he would find out about it himself. Then his friend told him that they do not live in this house secretly. Maybe that's why he doesn't want to talk to outsiders. Anuj could not understand how this could happen. So he may have said, "But the girl seemed to be from a good house, and why would she stay here in such a secret? And I also heard the voice of another woman from inside. The voice sounded like that of a woman of some age." Hearing this, his friend took a look at the bungalow and then said, "Then there's only one way left. Let's go inside this house and see. If that girl is here, you will know." Anuj also liked this. He wanted to lift the curtain on this night by any means necessary. So now, both of them started trying to enter inside that bungalow. But the gate of that bungalow was locked, and the walls of that bungalow were also very high. And not only this, pieces of glass were also placed on those high walls. Because of this, no one was able to go inside that bungalow. When Anuj took a look at that lock, he found that this lock was very old. Looking at that lock, it seemed as if no one had opened that lock for months, and every night when Anuj came here to deliver the parcel, Then this lock was found open. Thinking about all this, Anuja's head started spinning, and when they could not find a way to go inside the bungalow even after a long time, then his friend said that it is enough in the evening, and you have to go to work too. So let's do one thing. Now let's talk about this tomorrow. I leave from my house. You also go to work. After speaking, his friend left for his house. Anuj took a look at the bungalow and then started thinking that tonight, when he gets an order for food from this bungalow, this gate will be open. Then he will go in and investigate it thoroughly. Thinking of this, Anuj turned to go back. But at the same time, he felt as if someone was watching him from inside that bungalow. Realizing this, as soon as Anuj went to the door of that bungalow and he started trying to peek inside through that gate, at the same time, he found that a white, horrible eye was peeking out from inside the gate. This scene was so terrifying that Anuj was completely scared and retreated in fear. Anuj's breathing was very fast. He still couldn't believe what he had just seen. He calmed himself down for a while and then looked inside again from that part of the gate, and this time he saw that there was nothing there. Anuj felt that perhaps he was having such confusion due to overthinking, so he started his bike and left from there. He kept delivering for Zomato all day, and then late at night, he started waiting for the order to come again from that bungalow. And that is what happened. Around 1:30 a.m., he again received an order from that house. Anuj took the order and then proceeded towards that house. As soon as he came near that house, he saw that the lock of that house was open. What happened to him this afternoon? Again and again, the same thing was coming to his mind. Anuj calmed his mind, and then he opened the gate and came inside the bungalow. He called the given number, but the phone was not working. Every time he was telling the wrong number, so he tried to call again, but the phone didn't ring. Anuj was upset thinking this, and then the next moment, he got a call from that number on his phone, and a voice came from the other side. Put the parcel near the door and take the money under the mat. After that, the phone was disconnected. Anuj kept the parcel and then stood there with the money. Anuj had come with the intention to talk this time, so he just stood there, but no one opened the door. And even for about 10-15 minutes when that door did not open, during this time, a call came from the same number on Anuj's number. The woman who called seemed very angry, and she said, "I told you not to keep the parcel and take the money away, but why are you standing here now?" Hearing this, Anuj looked around in surprise. He didn't know where this woman was able to see him. He was watching all this when suddenly the woman's voice came again. "I am asking you something. Why haven't you gone yet?" Then Anuj spoke with the intention of handling the matter. "He actually found it very strange to give me a parcel like this, so I thought I'd hand over this parcel to you. You open the door, I'll give you the parcel." Hearing this, the woman remained quiet for a while, and then she said, "I think you are from a good house, but understand my point. I didn't think it was right to open the door for a stranger who had gone so late at night. That's why I keep the money here again and again and take the parcel. I don't like to be in front of anyone late at night like this. I think you've got the answers to your questions, so now you can go." Anuj could not say much further because the question of his job was there, so he said, "Okay, madam," and hung up the phone and then went out of that house. Coming out of the gate, he looked inside again. He saw that a few days after he left, the same girl came out and took the parcel. During this time, Anuj was looking at her, and perhaps the girl had realized this. She said in a loud voice, "Mom, it's very windy here, so should I take a walk outside? There's no one around here." Hearing this, the same woman's voice came from inside. "Okay, but come early because then the biryani is also getting cold." That girl, "It's okay, mommy," she said, and then started walking towards the main gate. Seeing all this, Anuj was a little nervous, but by now the girl had come to the main gate, and after coming to the main gate, she said softly, "I told you not to stay away from this house, but you are not agreeing. You've done your job, so what are you here to get now?" Hearing this, Anuj hesitated a little and said, "I'm sorry, oh, Actually, I just wanted to know a little bit about you. I came here during the day, but then the gate was locked." Hearing this, lines of worry appeared on the girl's face, and she said, "During the day, when my brother and I go to study, and mom and dad go to work, there is no one in the house. But I don't understand why you want to know about me." Hearing this, Anuj said, "I don't know why, but I felt like I should know." Hearing this, the girl said, "Anuj, humans do not know everything. It's good if some things are always a secret. If you try to learn more about such things, then you will get very bad." While saying this, the girl's voice became a bit strange. Looking at her, it seemed as if there was a lot that she wanted to say, but couldn't. Hearing this, Anuj didn't say much. Anuj actually started liking this girl, and he wanted to be friends with her, but perhaps this girl was not interested in Anuj. Anuj also thought of ending the matter here, and then started leaving from there. During this time, the girl also went back inside the house, but there was a glitch here. Anuj had parked his motorcycle outside the house, and now it was not starting. Anuj was dragging his motorcycle forward with his hand, but the road ahead was closed, so he was going back in front of that bungalow and going the other way. His bike was a short distance from that house, but the house was completely visible to Anuj. During this time, Anuj saw that there are not one or two, but 4 shadows on the second floor of that house. One of them was a child. There were shadows of 1 man and 2 women. When Anuj looked at the size, Anuj found that all of them were standing straight towards the window. None of them were moving. Looking at them, it seemed as if these people were standing at the window and looking outside. Anuj was looking at that side in surprise when suddenly the light of that house went off. The lights of all the nearby houses had also been switched off, and now only street lights were on the road. Seeing all this, Anuj had come very close to that house. Today, for the first time, he felt that there was a little more coolness around this house than in the rest. Anuj was leaving the house and going to the front when the girl opened the main gate and came out and said, "Well, I had to talk to you. I noticed that whenever we order a parcel, you are the one who comes to deliver it. Why is that?" Hearing this, Anuj said, "Actually, you order a parcel of this biryani from the same restaurant every time, and by that time, most of the Zomato delivery partners have gone to their homes, and I stay for a while to earn more money. Because of this, I get your order every time. I want to pay for my studies on my own. That's why I work so hard." Hearing this, the girl smiled and stretched out her hand and said, "Myself Pyle. I live here with my parents. He's a little tough, but don't feel bad. They're very concerned about our safety, so I don't let anyone talk to me outside. You're the first person I'm talking to so much. Can we be friends?" Anuj didn't want to miss this opportunity, so he befriended the girl. Now the girl started talking to him through messages even during the day, but the surprising thing here was that whenever Pyle called Anuj, he would get the phone, but when Anuj tried to call Pyle, her number was never reached. It is not that the phone is busy or switched off, but the number is always wrong. Anuj talked about this with Pyle many times, but Pyle would say every time that she did not know anything about this because she had never faced such a problem. Time was passing like this, and one day when Anuj was about to go back after giving the parcel and talking to Pyle, his friend's call came.
Anuj started walking around there while talking to him. During this time, he saw a horrible scene. He saw that the house inside which Payal used to live was not locked until a while ago. Suddenly, there was a lock on him. When Anuj looked at that side in surprise, he found that there was no one on that side. Anuj looked at the lock and then peeked inside the house. But at the same time, he saw that white eye again. Anuj moved a little away from the house nervously. But at the same time, he saw a white terrible hand coming out from under that main gate. That hand did not look like a human being at all. He was very nervous about all this and took his bike and left there quickly. After some time, he realized that Payal also lives inside the same house. Thinking of this, Anuj stopped his bike and then quickly started calling Payal. But like every time, his phone was not ringing this time. Anuj was very nervous about all this. He was calling Payal repeatedly, but every time his number was wrong. All this had spoiled his mind. Anuj knew that there was danger on that side, and in that danger he did not want to leave Payal, and that is why he called his friends and told them everything. Friends, the friendship of boys is such that even in the middle of the night, if a friend calls his friend, he definitely comes for help. And Anuj's friends were also like that. They all hurried to the place mentioned by Anuj on their bikes. And one of his friends, Lakhan, came to Anuj and said, "What's the matter, Anuj bhai? Why are you peeking into other people's houses so late at night? Now that I have taken a peek, what is the matter now?" Then Anuj said, "Look friends, the matter is not as straightforward as it seems. In fact, I saw a scary hand there and it did not look like a human at all. Inside that house, one of my friends Payal lives, and if that strange hand is there, then who knows how terrible that devil will be and if he causes any harm to Payal or her family members. So we have to go there right now and get Payal and her family out safely." Hearing this, one of his friends said, "This work is a bit difficult, brother, because what you are talking about is not what it is. I'm obsessed with a ghost. I don't know if he left us alive." Hearing this, another friend of his said, "Let's do one thing. We go inside that house while reciting Hanuman Chalisa. Nothing will come of it." Everyone liked this, and then everyone put Hanuman Chalisa on their phones and then started going near that house. That's how they went to that house. When I got closer, the sound of screaming started coming from inside the house. Hearing this, Anuj said nervously, "Did that devil harm those people?" Hearing this, all those people became very nervous and quickly started trying to open the lock of the main gate of that house. But the lock was completely rusty, because of which it was not opening. On the other hand, the same voice was still coming from the house. And during this time, an angry voice of a woman came. "You guys get out of here right now or it won't be good." But Anuj and his companions were not listening to anything. But now, before he could break the lock, a man living nearby came to him and said, "Who are you? What are you doing here at night? And why are you breaking this lock? The owner of the house has been living in London for a long time, due to which it is locked. You must have had a misunderstanding." Hearing this, Anuj said, "This cannot happen. I leave parcels here every day. Wait, I'll show you." Speaking of this, Anuj showed him all the history of the order. According to him, Anuj used to bring a parcel of biryani to the address of this house every day. Seeing this, the man spoke again. "So those people must be robbers who are hiding inside this house. Wait, I'll call the police." The man then called the police. After some time, when the police came there and opened the lock, when they looked inside the house, they found that no one was inside the house. But yes, empty packets of Zomato were lying inside that house. Not only this, the food inside that parcel was lying on the wall and all over the house. Some food was eaten and some was thrown away. The police searched the entire house, but they didn't find anyone in that house. Seeing this, Anuj and his companions got shocked, because if only Anuj had been misunderstood, he would have understood. But when they were trying to break the lock of this house, then the sounds of screaming and screaming were really coming from inside this house. The police showed them all the house and said that those people must be deaf people who are hiding here. "Don't you guys, it's all right here. Now you go home." Anuj could not say much further and started leaving from there. When he came very close to his house, his mobile rang at the same time. When he stopped the bike and looked at the phone, he found that the phone belonged to Payal. Seeing this, his eyes lit up and he hurriedly picked up the phone. Payal's voice came from the other side of the phone. "You did not do well by bringing the police to my house today. I thought you were my good friend and you did all this to me in return. Where will my partner and I live now? So now we are coming to your house with you." Payal hung up the phone. Anuj tried to call Payal again. He wanted to know it all. But like every time, this time too that number was coming off. Anuj came back home thinking about this and came back and went to sleep. The next morning he took a bath, got ready and left for college. During this time, when he was riding the bike, his eyes suddenly fell on the mirror of his bike. Then he saw Payal sitting on the back of his bike. Seeing this, Anuj was very surprised and he suddenly stopped the bike. And when he turned around, he found that there was no one on the back of his bike. Anuj looked around, but there was no Payal anywhere. Anuj thought that maybe he was having such hallucinations because of last night. So he started the bike again and headed towards his college. There was also a temple on the way to his college. If it was possible, Anuj would have gone to the college only after visiting the temple. And with this intention, when Anuj came to the main gate of the temple today, he suddenly started having a headache. He thought maybe that's how it was happening. It'll close in a while. And thinking this, he started going inside the temple. But the next moment, his head began to ache so badly that darkness began to cover his eyes. Anuj was not taking a single step towards the temple, so he stayed there. I don't know why it was difficult for him to breathe now, so he stood in one place and breathed heavily. Anuj had come to know that his health was not good, and in such a situation, he should go to the doctor as soon as possible. That's why he hurriedly pulled out of the temple and started moving forward, composing himself. But the surprising thing here was that as soon as he came out of the temple, his head started to recover from the back. His heavy breathing was also starting to return to normal. Anuj was very surprised by all this. He didn't understand what was happening to him. He took a look back and then rode back to the bike like a college. He had a conversation with his friends about last night. Hearing all this, his friend Praveen said, "When that girl threatened you to come to your house, did she come to your house?" Hearing this, Anuj said, "No man, nothing like this happened." I don't know why his phone is not ringing, but yes, there is one thing. Now I don't know why I feel like I'm not alone, even though I'm alone. Hearing this, his friend Lakhan said, "Look brother, this is all your misunderstanding. What we saw in that house last night didn't look normal at all. Look, do one thing, don't take any order from there. Come straight home." Anuj also liked this, and then tonight he started working again. At around 12:30 a.m., when Anuj was preparing to go home, then he got an order for chicken biryani from this restaurant. But this time the surprising thing was that this order did not come from that house but from Anuj's house. Seeing this, Anuj was surprised as he could not understand who was ordering chicken biryani from his house. In his house all were pure vegetarians. But work was work, so he quickly took the parcel and headed towards his house. There were tenants upstairs in his house, so he thought that one of them might have ordered. Thinking of this, when Anuj came to his house with that parcel, at the same time suddenly a cat came and snatched the parcel from Anuj's hand and left quickly. Anuj tried hard to catch that cat, but I don't know where that cat had gone in the dark. Anuj no longer understood what he would answer to the customer, and thinking of all this, he had just turned towards his bike when suddenly he saw that the same amount was kept on his bike as much as that parcel. Seeing all this, Anuj was very nervous. Now he understood that the cat that took the parcel from his hand must be related to all of this somewhere. Anuj picked up the money, and while checking his mobile when he was going home, he saw that a message had come from Payal's number in his phone. "We have received the parcel, thank you for that." Reading this, Anuj was very nervous. He remembered what Payal had said last night, that Payal was telling him that she and all her family members were coming to her house, and tonight it happened. Anuj tried to call Payal again, but like every time his number was coming wrong. Anuj went inside his house and then lay down on his bed after eating. Whatever happened to him, everything was going through his mind, and he did not know when he fell asleep thinking about it. After sleeping at night, he had a dream of Payal, in which she looked very scary and she was saying to him, "From now on we are with you and now we will be with you." The next morning when Anuj woke up, he felt a lot of pain in his shoulder. He somehow got up and went to the bathroom and started brushing in the bathroom. During this time, when he turned his face towards the wash basin to spit, he saw that the reflection he had inside the glass was the same where Anuj had placed the brush. But her reflection was still brushing. Seeing this, Anuj was very surprised. He was watching all this with wide eyes when suddenly the reflection of him in the mirror looked at him and smiled horribly. "I told you we'd be together now." Hearing this, Anuj quickly ran out of the bathroom. Seeing him like this, his father stopped him and asked the reason for his escape in this way. Then Anuj told them the whole story. Hearing this, his father took him to the bathroom and asked him to show him the mirror. When Anuj went to the bathroom with his father, he saw that the glass was completely normal. Seeing all this, Anuj was absolutely surprised. At the same time, his father said that you study during the day and then work at night. In such a situation, you will have confusion in this way. Look son, don't work so hard. If you want, I'll give you some money, but you have a little fun. Look at friends your age. They don't do anything like that. Hearing this, Anuj said, "They don't do it because they don't see their father's compulsion. I know how much overtime you have put in to educate me, and if I can do a little bit for you now, it will be my luck. You don't worry, I'm fine right now, and I'll be back a little sooner than now. After 12 o'clock, I will not take any order." His father agreed to it. At the same time, Anuj also started getting ready for college.
When Anuj was going to college, the same temple came on the way. Seeing him, Anuj stopped. He began to think of it like yesterday. He thought of visiting that temple, and when he parked the bike and started entering the temple,
the same thing happened to him again. His health began to deteriorate. Now he understood that Pyle was a ghost, and he was now with her. That's why he can't go to holy things. Anuj was trying to go inside the temple with all his courage and strength, but with every single second, his health began to deteriorate more than before, and there came a time when he fainted on the steps of the temple. The phone that Anuj had was used to call his father. When they brought him to the doctor told him that he was absolutely fine and advised him to rest for a while. Seeing his son like this, Anuj's father said, "Look, son, I know we need money, but we don't even need us to see you so upset. You don't need to work after today. Whatever happens, I will see." Anuj knew here that all this is not a problem of his work, but a problem is something else, and that is why he told his father not to worry, "Father. Now I am absolutely fine and I will rest today. You don't worry." Anuj stayed at home that day and then called his friends to his house after finishing college. Anuj's parents both worked, and because of this, Anuj was completely alone at home. When Anuj told his friends about all this, his friends were surprised, and then his friend Lakan said, "I think you should go to a Baba." Hearing this, Anuj said, "You gave a good idea, but now where will I find this Baba? Look guys, I don't want my family to know anything about this. Those people will be unnecessarily upset. You don't know that my mom's condition isn't good. Because of this, I don't want to give them tension at all. So try your best to find someone. Now I do one thing. I go for delivery." After speaking, Anuj left for delivery. Around 12:30 a.m., when Anuj was thinking of coming home, at the same time he was again asked to take a parcel from this restaurant. Anuj, who was suffering so much, because of that, Anuj was completely upset, so he rejected this parcel and came home empty-handed. He must have reached the door of his house when suddenly he saw 4 cats looking at him angrily near his door. She started to move towards him, growling. Seeing this, Anuj was a little nervous. He picked up a stone lying nearby and hit it with the cats. The cats moved away from their place due to that attack, but she was still looking at Anuj in anger. Anuj quickly opened the door of his house and quickly moved inside the house. During this time, he also heard the terrible sound of those cats coming from outside. At the same time, Anuj's phone started ringing. When he took out the phone, he found that it belonged to Pyle. Seeing all this, Anuj was very nervous and quickly put his number in the block list. But despite this, his phone was coming again and again, and not only that, he kept the phone on silent. But even after that, the phone was ringing loudly. When he got the phone, Anuj's mind was now very bad, and so he switched off his phone and went to his room and slept. As soon as Anuj lay on his bed, he heard Pyle's voice. "Why didn't you bring my parcel?" Hearing that voice, Anuj suddenly sat up. He saw that he had no one around. Seeing this, he lay down on the bed. But at the same time, he saw that Pyle was hanging upside down on the roof. During this time, his face was downwards. His whole face was horribly white, and even his eyes were white. His claws were absolutely sharp. Seeing all this, Anuj knew that the terrible hand and terrible eyes that Anuj had seen at that time were Pyle's. Anuj was very nervous about all this. At the same time, someone knocked on the window of his room. When Anuj looked at her, there were 3 shadows from outside towards the window, and she was constantly banging on the window. Anuj was very nervous about all this, but he also knew a way out of it all. He remembered that day when he was trying to enter the house while reciting Hanuman Chalisa, then the sound of screaming and shouting was coming from that house. Anuj quickly picked up his phone and then put Hanuman Chalisa on it. From all this, Pyle started screaming and screaming. At the same time, those 3 shadows outside the window also ran away from there. Pyle almost screamed and said, "Stop all this right now or it won't be good." But Anuj did not stop that Hanuman Chalisa. On the contrary, he had turned up the volume of the phone. All this caused Pyle to disappear from there quickly. Pyle came here only after capturing Anuj's body,
because of which she was tied with Anuj. Due to all this, when the Hanuman Chalisa was going on, Anuj was also suffering a lot. But he knew what was hurting him, so he did not get upset with all this and thought to face it head on. Anuj suffered from all this for some time. His whole body was trembling. At the same time, he was also vomiting, but he still did not stop the Hanuman Chalisa. On the other hand, due to these sounds coming from Anuj's room, Anuj's parents got up and came to Anuj's room. When they saw Anuj in this condition, they got very nervous and quickly switched off Anuj's phone and started handling Anuj. Here, if Anuj's parents had allowed Hanuman Chalisa to run on Anuj's phone for 10 to 15 minutes more, then perhaps Anuj would have been free from Payal forever. But before all this happened, and Anuj was not in such a condition that he could say anything. He was almost unconscious. He was slowly talking to his parents, but his parents couldn't understand. They took Anuj to a nearby government hospital, where Anuj's treatment started in the emergency.
It was found that Anuj was suffering from food poisoning. Because of this, Anuj is in such a condition. That night they stayed in the hospital, and then the next day they were discharged from the hospital. His father had now sternly told him that he would not go to work for a few more days. But what Anuj would have told them was that the problem is not outside, but inside the house. Anuj didn't want to upset his parents, so he didn't say anything to them and said, yes, okay, he won't go to work today. After this, Anuj started resting in his room. At the same time, his parents got involved in their own work. As soon as his family members left his room, then Anuj called his friend Kuldeep and told him everything. Then his friend Kuldeep said, I don't think you should hide anything from your family now. If you tell them everything right now, they will do something. It is not in our power to find a Baba. Hearing this, Anuj said, why are you talking like this? You know what my mother's condition is, right? And I don't want to bother them. You, brother, please understand my point and help me. Beyond this, Kuldeep could not refuse it, and he called his mother, and in the conversation he said, there is a girl studying in my college, Ria. He is very ill and is not being affected by any kind of medicine. Maybe there's an upward spiral above him. So, mother, do you know any tantric or exorcist who can fix all this? Then his mother told Kuldeep about a known tantric, and Kuldeep told Anuj. On the same day, Anuj left the house, saying that he would go to his friend's house, and went and met that Baba. He told them everything, and then that Baba said, you should not have interfered in the torn of those souls that day. Now look what he has done to you. Hearing this, Anuj said, I know, Babaji, that I did not do the right thing, but who were those people, and why are their souls wandering like this? Why do we order biryani every night? Hearing this, the tantric said, I don't know anything about all this. If you ask me to, I can take it down. But yes, you can't say that those people started harassing you again or started harassing someone else, because the break of the unloading also lasts only for a short time. Hearing this, Anuj thoughtfully said, I know this is a bit of a stupid question, but I want to talk to them face to face. If he can be free from doing something, I'm willing to do it, because I have realized that Payal might have wanted to tell something, but is not able to tell. Hearing this, the tantric said, okay, but you will have to pay for it. If the full 15,000 rupees is approved, then speak. What would he not have done? So Anuj also agreed to it, and at this time, that Baba recited some strange mantra and asked him to see Anuj in a water. After some time, the image of Payal started emerging in that water, and she said, why have you called us here? Hearing this, Anuj said, look, I know you guys are upset. That's why you're wandering here and there. Otherwise, it is not possible for the whole family to wander like this. If there's anything I can do that will liberate you, please let me know. I remember we were friends, and friends can help each other. Hearing this, Payal thought for a while and said, it all started a few months ago. My family and I lived in that house. We also had a laughing family. My father had a small business and used it to run the house and all the other expenses.
but gradually the business started to come to a standstill. We tried hard to convince them to leave all this and focus on some work, but they didn't listen to us. He told us that there are ups and downs in life, and if there is a recession now, then the business will do well later. All the money we had invested in different SIPs and different places was lost. Dad had also mortgaged this house without informing him, because of which we didn't even have a roof over our heads anymore. During all this, one day my brother and I asked the family to make biryani for dinner, but the stuff to make biryani was not at home, and so my brother and I were asking to order biryani, but they didn't give us money. Papa told us to cook and eat whatever is in the house right now. Papa seemed very upset because we could have to vacate this house at any time. He couldn't see us wandering from place to place like this. And so one day, when the mother could no longer bear it, the mother talked to the father about it. Dad cried and told them everything. My mother's brain wasn't working either. They didn't know what to do. Sometimes she looked at us, sometimes at this house. Now the money inside the house was also running out, and what would happen to us in the future? Thinking of this, our family members were very nervous, and so they took the dreaded step. One day, Papa made biryani for all of us family members from Mother. We were both very happy. After so many days, you will get to eat biryani. But little did we know that this was going to be the last meal of our lives. Mom and Dad had mixed poison inside the biryani with their mutual consent. After eating it, we slept so fast that we never woke up again. A few days later, the neighbors called the police and told us about us. The police took our bodies with them, and upon investigation, it was found that Papa had a lot of debt, due to which he had killed all of us. In this way, the mystery of this death was solved, but due to premature death, our soul did not find peace, and we are wandering like this. And now it seems that it is more difficult to wander like this than to wander from place to place in that way. Papa thought that all the problems would go away after he died, but the real problem starts here. We were now wandering in phantom vaginas. The biryani that we wanted to eat before we died remained even after coming to the phantom vagina, due to which we used to order biryani from Zomato again and again. We thought we would spend all our time here. We rarely went out of the house, because of which no one suspected that we 4 ghosts were inside that house. But then you came and you evicted all of us from that house of ours, and in a fit of rage, we came to your house. It was also my fault that I befriended you. What would I do? I was tired of being alone. We wandered around like crazy inside that house all day. I wanted to see outsiders. I wanted to share my pain with them. But if I told anyone this, instead of listening to our pain, he would harass us like you did. If you ask us to, we will leave you.
But please don't bother my family now. After this, Anuj stopped seeing Payal. He told the whole thing to the tantric and said that what happened to Payal and her family was not right at all. So can't there be something that will liberate these people? Then Baba said, there are many remedies, but it does not have any effect at all. You will have to keep taking those measures for about 3-4 years. Only then will they be liberated. Tell me, is it acceptable? After doing all this, Payal and her family will not harm anyone else and will also be free to be separated. So, Anuj agreed to it too. But there is no trust in wandering phantom spirits. He couldn't say when he would attack Anuj again. So Anuj had made a Raksha Sutra for himself and tied it. With all this, those spirits could not bother Anuj. But Anuj could feel his presence very well. Anuj kept doing charity for him for many years, and then after about 4 years, Payal and her family finally got rid of all this. Anuj also had no relationship with Payal, but Anuj could feel that his father did whatever he could to keep his children from suffering. But they did not know that their children would suffer more because of them. So Anuj thought of helping them. Many years have passed since this thing. Anuj has completed his studies so far, and Anuj is currently working in a good company in Gurgaon, where his annual package is also very good. Look, troubles come in everyone's life. Financial problems also come in everyone's life.
Sometimes our family also becomes dependent on something. Many times we are not able to fulfill some things for our children, for our wives. So look, picking up such wrong finishes is not the solution to any problem, but it makes it even more problematic. Those who take such steps are actually cowards.
So friends, this was our story today. How did you like the story? Please do tell me by commenting in the comment box. And also, those who haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe to the channel. Take care of yourself and your family. I will meet you soon with a new story. Thank you.